Greetings. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome you to Westport, once a shining testament to protectorate excellence, now a picturesque example of the evils of corporatism. But where are my manners? We do not have much, but please let me offer you some victuals. Tut. I insist. Serving Unit 1. Something for the visitor at once?
Confirmative.
Perhaps you're wondering why I'd open my arms thusly for a stranger. Simple. As the guiding light for humankind, we always put our best foot forward, regardless of circumstance.
Rampant depletion of resources and lack of community led to terrible suffering.
I beg to differ. Those walls have stood for over a century and would easily have stood for another, were it not for Auntie's greed and envy, and explosives.
Affords us a perfect life of contentment and plenty. We have community.
Our society was built from the bedrock up through the vision of our matriarch. Due to her genius, the structure of our society is perfect, planned down to the last subject. We all work as a unified whole for the betterment of all, unlike those corporate colonies where it's every person for themselves.
The sovereign.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest...
Obviously, there was some sort of betrayal from within. Even a perfect society has its malcontents, and selfish consumerism is an alluring drug for weak minds. But consider all we've achieved that others have not. Why, we've even eradicated manual labor through our perfection of auto mechanicals. Can aunties claim such?
The native flora and fauna, the pleasant atmosphere, and rich natural resources represent a fascinating
I will not speak of them. I dislike even doing so indirectly. That brings me to a matter I'd like to discuss with you, actually. I believe something still can be done. This town can be saved, its people given a reprieve. Were we to acquire the one thing vital to our existence, auto mech parts. What?
Comestibles served.
We of the Protectorate pride ourselves on our mech programming. Among the vigilant, it is even considered something of a sport. We are not miracle workers, however. Without parts to work with, we've no hope of remaking our mechs to do tasks beyond their initial functions. We need repair mechs, domestic mechs, not combat ones. Serving Unit 1 here is about as much as can be accomplished without replacement parts.
Same as ever, but prudence dictates we give it a little extra added zeal for now, just to offset any minor disruption.
If I can return the settlement to a reasonable facsimile of its previous glory, sufficiently functioning by employing mechs reprogrammed to repair and rebuild, the arbiters might see fit to penalize only me, commute the others' sentences, allow them to maintain things around here in the spirit of continuity and such.
All inhabitants are declared treasonous due to insufficient...
Hence my use of the term reasonable facsimile. I owe it to every single person here to try.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, disdain...
That's abundantly kind of you, though there must be something I can offer.
Everyone knows
Difficult place to saunter into. Station's off limits to anyone without the highest security clearance. For anyone lacking reason to be there, it's assured suicide. In exchange for the automech parts we need, I can provide you means to get inside. Never dream of such a proposal in days of reason and quietude. Yet such is the here and now we find ourselves in.
of resources and lack of community led
Wonderful. My unavoidable march to the gallows feels lighter already. At least now my subjects will have a fleeting chance. The parts can be found at the Euphoria Coast Automech Repair Center to the south, but do not, under any circumstances, tell those stationed there why you need them. To get inside, you will need an access pass from the Ministry of Accuracy. Since we have all been marked as traitors, I cannot create one for you here.
strenuous or stressful, food is nutritious and plentiful.
Farewell now.
You are the raw material for perfection. From the lowliest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate.
Empty are the lives of empty subjects.
Almost missed the routine certitude of my assigned profession.
Robust ecosystem, like those meddlesome raptidons. The basic individualists within Anti's choice. Though don't fret, the system is resilient. The system.
I am trapped inside the research lab at the former site of the Eden's Bounty Agri-Center. You must help me. You must! My subordinates have become homicidally irritable, though remain unaccountable for their actions. Find me in the renovated grain silo. Help me formulate a cure. Hello? Calling out to any random, non-kill crazed passerby who can hear this? Yes, you. I am trapped inside the research lab at the former site of the Eden's Bounty Agri-Center. You must help me. You must! My subordinates have become homicidally irritable, though remain unaccountable for their actions. Find me in the renovated grain silo. Help me formulate a cure. Hello? Calling out to any random, non-kill crazed passerby who can hear this? Yes, you. I am trapped inside the research lab at the former site of the Eden's Bounty Agri-Center. You must help me. You must! My subordinates have become homicidally irritable, though remain unaccountable for their actions. Find
Must be at least a few usable parts. Hello there.
Help me.
You wouldn't happen to have found any usable parts in all this debris? Westport's stockpiles of replacement parts are nearly depleted. I need to find some parts to convert some of our automechanicals, non-combat parts. Fortunately, there's nothing here that's salvageable. Anti's bombs sure take their toll, don't they? Let's just say to fill Westport's needs. If you follow the road heading north, you can't miss it. Used to be a sight to behold, but the war hasn't been kind to it. To any of us. True enough. A few years ago, I couldn't have imagined us running short of anything. And now here I am, digging through scrap for parts. But I digress. Was there anything else? Need to get back to my hunt, you understand?
My subordinates have become homicidally irritable, though remain unaccountable for their actions.
Yes and no. The bomb certainly took a fierce toll, but I suspect which has made sorting out where to begin my efforts here rather difficult. There should be a manifest somewhere, but it's nowhere to be found. Nor are the troopers who should have been escorting this. Or their bodies.
At the former site of the Eden's Bounty Agri-Center. You must help me. You must! My subordinates have
the only species in these parts that would pose such a... But the guard at Westport has always made a point of culling them with automechs so they don't get out of hand.
Help me formulate a cure.
Well, yes, the one in the same... Ah. Hey, unless I missed my guess, this looks like it was transporting damaged and malfunctioning automechs from the Vox station to the Automech Repair Center to the south of here. The center is... Say, you don't work for antis, do you? This is beginning to feel more than a little like you're digging for intelligence. Fair enough. As I was saying, the Automech Repair Center is south of here. Likewise. And please inform me if... There must be at least a few useful parts in here. It's warped. Just like everything else.
Crazed passerby who can hear this? Yes, you. I am trapped inside the research lab at the former site of the Eden's Bounty Agri Center. You must help me. You must. My subordinates have become homicidally irritable, though remain unaccountable for their act.
Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendlies. Engaging combat protocols. Emergency protocol service primed. Fortifying.
Don't make me bury another agent! Lights flashing before my eyes, Commander! Revive me! Knew you had my back.
Entering a confrontational state.
Once we arrive at the Automech facility, we'll unload and begin cataloging the state of the various Automechs.
Are you recording the drive? Cadet, I do not believe this is what the Sergeant intended by documenting the process. Here, allow me to handle it. Now where's the off switch? Boyd, we're being bombed! Disembark! Lose formation to the beach, double time! We can take shelter in the rocks! Praise the Sovereign. We made it. Halt! Everyone quiet. What's that cracking noise? Oh, shit! Rebels! Form defensive perimeter type 14A!
Who goes there?
By orders of Marshal Donaldson, no one comes or goes to the Automech Repair Center without approval. What's your business here?
Now you've done it. Slowing down a ranking protectorate official is worth 10, 20 demerits if you're lucky.
All right, let's not lose our heads over a simple misunderstanding. You're free to pass. Marshal Donaldson likes to greet new arrivals personally. We'll let him know you're inbound, so no one shoots on sight. Oh, and fair warning, watch out for xeranium gas. We sprung a leak. How observant of you. One more thing. Don't cause any trouble around these parts. Donaldson runs a tight ship and has zero tolerance for lawbreakers.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Outsider?
All that matters is getting these automechs to the Vox relay station.
But Marshal, we must adhere to decontamination procedures.
What in the name of the architect? Oh, right. My guards told me to expect a new arrival, right before our chief mechanist decided to harangue me with the latest on our catastrophe.
Marshal, you're acting as though I'm not standing here auguring the impending doom of this facility.
Woodrow, normally I would be obliged, nay, happy, to receive your senseless jawing, but not today. Perhaps this outsider can assist where you've failed. I hope you've come to help, because a crisis is bearing down on us, and I've a dearth of reliable hands with which to manage it. You see, Woodrow, why at this rate, we'll have the facility up and running in little to no time.
That's what scares me, Marshal.
Like you, me and my consternated head technician are new arrivals, though we may not last long if we fail to repair the uranium leak. Ah, that's where you're in luck. Thanks to our resident uranium scientist, no one needs to die, perish, or suffer any injuries, grievous or otherwise. The Vox relay station needs our automechs. But until that leak is fixed, this facility is a target for the sport of Auntie's armaments. Delphinia Bryant is working on a prototype uranium shield. Whoever uses it will be less disposable and more useful to the Protectorate. That's the spirit. You've got gumption, nerve, and daring do. Almost reminds me of myself.
Marshal, those automechs have been corrupted with uranium. I can't even cogitate on what they're capable of if we lack the time or resources to approach this rationally. Should they go berserk, we may well be turning the very subject you intend to resupply into their victims. We'd be branded as traitors.
Then perhaps you had better explain to Brigadier Montelli why his defenses are grounded. And you can do so personally, in the comfort of his office.
Montelli? I rescind my objection. May the delicate workings of the paradigm point us toward a better way.
There's a good fellow. Cleave to your loyalty, and it will never steer you wrong.
Stay true, outsider.
First the attack, then this uranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.
Oh yes, I adore interruptions. I was just saying, what's best for stoking the spark of invention? Regular disruptions to one's train of thought. Now what is it you want? Ah, our good Marshal sent you, did he? Well, unfortunately, the device is taking longer than expected. A number of factors. Uranium is dangerous, and we wouldn't want a researcher falling victim to their subject of study. The scarcity of volunteers is also a problem. Everyone wants to fix the gas leak, but no one wants to step inside a hazardous vapor. Now tell me, are you familiar with uranium gas? I haven't time to prattle unnecessarily, no. But my current project is of utmost importance. I could speak at length about uranium's many captivating intrinsic qualities, But suffice it to say, so what am I endeavoring to create? A protective device that shields its wearer from Zeranium's remarkably unsavory effects, as well as other forms of harm. Quite splendidly, if I do say so myself. The principal function of the device is confirmed operational. I merely... Alas, while I'm occupied with inventing this shield gadget, I also find myself in need of assistance. Good. Wonderful. As an added incentive, I'll allow you to keep one of the prototypes once the work is finished. So you be sure to get... Now here, you'll need this apparatus. It's for collecting stray Zeranium effluvium. Gas, that is. My supply is running low from all the iterative testing I've been performing. Merely activate the device once it's inside a Zeranium cloud, the one around the main hangar specifically. Try to avoid any fields of dense Zeranium, or death is all but assured. Any questions? Normally, yes, but on the off chance that environmental exposure has altered the gas here in any way, I'll want to work with locals. Ideally, the resulting shielding will protect against any gas, but since it's of utmost importance that it work on the gas here, I'll be calibrating against that. Oh, so exhilarating to have a new subordinate. I look forward to thoroughly scrutinizing...
Might be wise to give that large gas cloud a wide berth. Don't think there's anything to gain by getting near it. Not sure we should get any closer.
My little minion. I trust you've made progress in your tasks? I might recommend the local quartermaster. It's their job to track and distribute this facility's supplies, after all. What did I tell you? Perfectly safe. Either that or you tolerate Zeranium poisoning like a champ. Good for you. Should you suffer from any lingering symptoms of contamination, visit the medical center and they'll get you squared away. Now, on to business. The device already generates a field exactly as specified, albeit on a very small scale. Still, progress is progress. What's needed now is something to help extend and shape the field around the user. I require a component called a catalytic amplifier. You'll be pleased to learn there's one right here at the facility, in the Dragoon that's patrolling just outside. Catalytic amplifiers are a somewhat outdated technology, available only in older model Dragoons. Unfortunately for me, our chief mechanist, Woodrow, wasn't enthusiastic about my proposal to Geld his only combat automech. So you may have trouble getting your hands on the catalytic amplifier. I'm sure he's just being cautious. Should Auntie's choice attack us, we no doubt he also seeks to retain an unspoiled automech, since the others are by now riddled with Zeranium poisoning. Dragoons are a mainstay of our military. The design has been in production for decades. You must have seen the large automech patrolling the interior grounds. That is the Good. A flexible mindset should behoove you on this task. Perhaps the chief mechanist will, failing that, be prepared to exercise creativity if needed. One last thing, the Dragoon must not be harmed. Not only would the amplifier likely be damaged, but we'd both be summarily executed, assuming we survive the firefight that well, off you...
Outsider?
Give me a sec. Almost done with this work list. Another sealant failure, amplifier requisition, and 2 more cases of Zeranium exposure. The Marshal is under a lot of pressure to deliver automechs to the Vox relay station, but I'm responsible for their quality control. If even a single automech steps out of line, it will be the end of me. Zeranium-corrupted automechs open fire on Protectorate soldiers, and I end up in the darkest bowels of mental refreshment. Oh, is right. The Marshal is a good man, but he values speed while I value accuracy. Neither of us is wrong, but in this case, we both can't be right. Hazel should get you sorted right quick, assuming she has the parts. She's right between the barracks and the main gate. Can't miss her. She and I have been over this 100 times. Please understand, the original staff of this facility were rounded up and refreshed because they couldn't safeguard a Protectorate asset. Why should I follow their example by reducing our sole working Dragoon to a pile of unpatriotic scrap? I can't. I won't. That's a fair point. It's not as if they've come back to finish the job. Perhaps they assume we're already beaten. All right, how's about we get the Dragoon situated over here, so I can extract its vital organ? 1 catalytic amplifier as agreed. I hate to lose another Dragoon, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Not a chance. Donaldson has done everything in his power to get this facility online. He can't blame me for doing the same. Be seeing you, stranger.
Well, any closer to obtaining the catalytic amplifier? Oh, superb! I'm almost tempted to ask how you managed it. But pressing on, just a moment to remove what I need and install it in the prototype. With this gadget, you'll be shielded against more than Zeranium, you know. Damn near everything, as long as it's charged. Now, report to Marshal Donaldson, if you please. He's rather impatient to end this crisis so he can turn his focus back to the war. Don't thank me. Just doing my part for the sake of the paradigm, same as anyone.
Outer chassis sealant test number 14 is confirmed a failure. Uranium exposure rate appears to be unaffected. Test model displays...
Oh, a new arrival. Oh, and what's this? You, I dare say, are exhibiting clear signs of Zeranium exposure, stranger. Fortunately for you, you appear to have a fairly mild case. I imagine you haven't even noticed any symptoms yet. If you'd indulge me, I have a few questions I'd like to ask, for medical posterity, and so on and so forth. First question, can you describe the conditions in which you were exposed to the Zeranium? Ah, another assistant. Should have guessed. I suppose I should be grateful for all the data she sends my way, but I do wish Dell would think more of her collaborators' well-being. All right, next question. How are you feeling? For instance, do your bones seem noticeably softer somehow? Have you observed any sterility on your way in? Or aching in your thyroid or spleen? Well, good for you. Keeping a positive attitude can often aid your recovery. I wish more of my patients shared your optimistic disposition. As a token of my appreciation, allow me to provide you advanced Zeranium therapy of the highest possible quality. There, that should do it. Do stop back in if you suffer additional exposure. I would love, be pleased to act as your consulting physician again, should the need arise. Normally, I'd say to ask the quartermaster, but he died a few weeks back. Perhaps he's been replaced since? Failing that, I imagine you could ask the technicians here. One of them might know. Oh, gladly. What would you like to know? Zeranium is a crystal. Even in its raw form, it generates energy. But Zeranium is found in a liquid state as well, but it's far too hazardous and inefficient for all. Refined Zeranium is used to power nearly all major protectorate technology. It's an amazing, however, it's also highly unstable and must be mined exceedingly carefully. Even minor bumps or jolts can cause Zeranium. Zeranium in its default crystalline state poses two risks. First, it's extremely volatile. Second, Zeranium crystals produce a small amount of gas, which we think helps stabilize its crystalline lattice. But that's just a theory. In this gaseous state, Zeranium is quite hazardous, breaking down or...
What brings you to this fine establishment?
Caught a piece of shrapnel during the attack. What about you?
Zeranium poisoning. Only a mild case, but the doctors are withholding treatment to study my symptoms.
Sovereign's mercy. How do you feel?
Damn right, this is how I feel. Sick, blue-eyed, nauseous with a car racing breath.
Oh, unfamiliar clientele. I was just lamenting the lack of new faces around here since supplies stopped arriving. And then you walk in. Name's Hazel. I'm sort of the acting quartermaster around these parts. You need any supplies, talk to my friend the quartermech here. You'd think that a fully stocked auto-mechanical repair center would have automech parts, and 9 times out of 10 you'd be spot on. Trouble is, a bunch of supplies went missing recently, right around the time the quartermech completed a routine inventory. As a matter of fact, yes. Recently, when the crates by the wall got too high, it began stacking supplies on the catwalk above.
Protectorate automechanicals feature advanced construction but low adaptability. Fall-throughs in its logic assembly would likely lead it to interpret its programming literally.
Logic can be a funny thing, you understand. One misstep can have the most peculiar results. Hey, that's a good point. The quartermech is my responsibility. Claim whatever parts you require from the missing supplies, and we'll call the matter settled. Delphinia's lab would be the place to search. We use it for storage, and our records indicate the supplies were present and accounted for.
Standard Earth Directorate protocol calls for a thorough grid search of the premises, Commander. Those parts are bound to turn up somewhere.
Are you acquainted with Delphinia? She's a scientist on loan from the Vox Relay, helping with the Zeranium leak and all. As she ought to be. Donaldson needs to get this facility back in working order. Otherwise, we're all bound for mental refreshment. On that happy thought, best of luck in your search. Do let me know if you need anything.
Ambient Zeranium levels are higher than average, but state your business. This unit is incapable of misplacement.
Well, it was...
May this unit be of further... All wares should be...
Sorry, it tends to take things too literally.
Lull detected. Conversational status...
Does that one compute, big guy?
Affirmative. Initiating commerce.
See you soon, I hope.
you're back. And you've been cavorting with Zerane. Certainly, there is a nominal cost for treatment to cover essentials. All right then, hold perfectly still.
I'm glad that spectacle didn't scare you off. Between the recent attacks and the gas leak, you find us on the razor's edge between reason and panic. Whether or not you're able to help us, I'm grateful to have an extra set of eyes on the problem. Zeranium is hardly my area of expertise, but it falls to me to find a solution, lest I follow my predecessors to their untimely fate. I knew Dr. Bryant would come through for us, that she'd prove her worth as should. Seeing as you're the only one trained in the use of that gadget, what say you put it through its paces? Make your way inside the repair hangar and find the control terminal to Why in law's name would you want to know that? Good thinking. I suppose if some computational greenhorn left even one of the intake conduits open and shut down the Zeranium flow, that'd be a disaster. Good thing we don't make rookie mistakes in my unit. Any further questions?
First the attack, then there's Zeranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up. First the attack, then there's Zeranium. At this rate, we're never getting caught up.